This is the Codcast.
Hey, what a goal!
All things Whitby Town FC.
With BR Asbestos, your trusted local experts in asbestos surveying, removal and compliance. Safety without compromise. Visit br-asbestos.co.uk.
Hello and welcome to the latest edition. I'm Andrew Snare.
Wilson gets it now, turns away from Morgashi and chips the ball into the penalty area there, headed by Martin, and it's 1-0 to Guiseley. The visitors lead. It was chipped towards the back post and Martin was there to head home. Hewitt can't get there, knocks on head up and Booth now, and Kay just comes across to try and win it back for Whitby. Can't quite manage to. Dunstan now chipping the ball into the penalty area, headed by Martin. Cross face goal, back across there, and it's going to bounce in for 2-0. Birchall got the ball back across, and Norton couldn't get a telling touch on it, and it's Aaron Martin who turned the ball home. You maybe heard Liam say in the background, absolute mess. Throwing taken, and Dowson giving it back to Gibson Booth, and it's helped now to Kay. Kay's going to try one from range. Killing it off the bar! Oh, God, that was a hell of an effort from Sam Kay, but rattled the crossbar. Couldn't find that top corner. And there's a full-time whistle here at the Towbar Express Stadium at the Turnbull Ground. A disappointing night for the Seasiders. Ultimately, a crazy 10-minute spell in which Whitby surrendered this game, unfortunately. They did have one or two chances, most notably Sam Kay rattling the crossbar, but Whitby Town 0, Guiseley 2.
This is the Codcast.
With BR Asbestos, your trusted local experts in asbestos surveying, removal and compliance. Safety without compromise. Visit br-asbestos.co.uk.
And that was the story of Tuesday's defeat, 2-0 against Guiseley. Paul Connolly and Liam Ryder on commentary for This Is the Coast Extra. And I'm very pleased to say that Paul joins me now to look back on that game and ahead to Saturday's home game against Ilkeston. Hello, Paul. I understand you're over at the Towbar Express Stadium right now.
Yeah, just trying to get the final touches together, ready for Saturday afternoon against Ilkeston, and wrap up the sort of last bits from Tuesday night. So yeah, we're looking ready to go. The dressing room set out. It's looking good.
Fantastic. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case on Tuesday, especially coming on the back of a really impressive victory at the weekend. What went wrong, do you think, against Guiseley?
It was a difficult evening for Whitby. It was a difficult evening. You know, Guiseley are a decent, solid side, and you know, I think Lee Bullock mentioned it that in the second half they sort of schooled us a little bit, especially those sort of experienced players, the likes of your Jay Rollins on the right and Amir Birchall on the left, and you know, Aaron Martin leading the line. That front three were, you know, really difficult to deal with at times on Tuesday night. But you know, there's probably areas and times in that game where Whitby maybe could have dealt with them better if you know, better decision making in a couple of aspects, but ultimately, you know, it wasn't to be. But over the course of the game, you know, I looked at the first half and it was pretty even. You know, Guiseley probably had the best chance of the evening. Jack Norton producing a fantastic save to keep it at 0-0 at that point. It was a tricky one, low down to his left, so he didn't have much sort of room to get it, but he managed to get down and tip it around the post. And obviously Whitby had a couple of chances. Stan Hewitt has two really that from what we've seen of him in training, we would think he might do a little bit better with, but ultimately, you know, he didn't on the night. He sort of hit them into the ground, and you know, in training we tend to see him sort of put his laces through him and rifle it a little bit. So, you know, that's one thing, is now probably translating those moments from the training pitch onto the grass on a Saturday afternoon. But yeah, ultimately, you know, the first half, while it was even, I think Bully mentioned it there, you know, you felt at that point we could have nicked a 0-0. We hadn't really done anything spectacular. We had little flashes and little moments where, you know, we thought, we'll be all right here. And then, yeah, the second half, they've come out and pretty much done what we did to Leek on Saturday afternoon. They've come out of the blocks quickly. They've been aggressive. They've fought. They've won what they needed to win. And ultimately, you know, they've found themselves two goals where one of them, you know, Aaron Martin's peeled off his man and got the header and scored. And the second one, from Whitby's point of view, is a little bit sloppy, a little bit messy, really, the way that goal's gone in. You know, there's been a couple of opportunities where we maybe could have picked it up and cleared the ball, but we haven't done, and ultimately, Guiseley have profited on the back of that. So yeah, it's a wake up call. It's a bit of a lesson, I think, to Whitby's players, and just a bit of a welcome to the Northern Premier League, maybe for a few of these lads as well, that they do need to be better, and in some occasions maybe just need to be a little bit stronger.
Indeed, and as Paul mentioned there, we spoke to Lee Bullock post-match. He caught up with Liam at full time.
Well, Bully, we've just heard the word reference there, sobering, before you came into this interview. Just your thoughts initially on that 2-0 defeat to Guiseley this evening.
Yeah, that's, like you said, brought right back down to earth, sobered well and truly up. It's just such a shame because we had brilliant support Saturday and we've had an outstanding attendance there tonight. And first half, we were all right. I said to them at half time, if we continue that, we might scrape a 0-0. We needed to up our game. We needed to impose ourselves. Are we good enough to go and win it? But unfortunately, second half, for 20 minutes, they've absolutely schooled us. It was like men v boys. They just won every single header, won every battle, just put the ball behind us. They didn't play brilliant football. They didn't run at us. They were just stronger and better all over. Took absolute advantage of us and then basically toyed with us for the last 25 minutes. And I think if they wanted to, they could have got another couple, but they just took the 3 points and went without really having to work hard for it.
Yeah, and then just going back to the start, one change in the team, Marnie Grant coming in for Callum Hickman, who was unavailable. I suppose really for him a bit of reward for his performance off the bench on Saturday as well.
Yeah, he won his headers on Saturday, he put himself about. I don't think any of us won our headers today. If we did, we were constantly under pressure and getting battered by them, so our headers were dropping 5-10 yards. Their headers were going 30-40 yards back at us, back over us. That was the difference of the night. It looks like we need a bit of height at both ends of the pitch. I've just said to the lads, you've got to prove to us that we don't. We don't want to bring, at the minute, these academy lads are all getting offered. It's pointless bringing them in because they can't deal with what's being thrown at us tonight. They are big, strong lads. We're having a look for them, but there's just nothing available at the minute in our budget and willing to come to us. So them lads there have got to just prove Saturday they're more than good enough. But they've got to remind us again Saturday.
Yeah, and looking across the first half, at times it became sort of quite entertaining to end the big moments, though, really probably those two chances for Sam Hewitt. Yeah,
two. Again, when a couple of times we got balls behind them, down the side of them, a couple of decent crosses in, and two steady little chances fell to him, and he's just snatched at them both, hit the target twice, but zero power. That was probably the sum effort of what we produced first half. They put us under a lot of pressure with that ridiculously long throw they've got and set pieces, but I thought we defended them well and restricted them. But then second half we just couldn't keep it up.
No, and then going into the second half, like you said, guys, we certainly sort of looked on the side that were going to nick it there, and then that first goal just coming from the header, it kind of felt a bit of a long time coming, that goal. Yeah,
like I said, first 20 minutes of the first half, I thought, well, we couldn't get out of our, if you want your coaching word, we couldn't get out of our final third. We couldn't clear our lines. When we did clear our lines, we were getting no distance. They were just putting it straight back on us, and it was like 20 minutes camped in. Was just about to try and change it up and get some energy in there just as the second goal went in, but said them there, even trying to change it up, nothing really happened. They didn't stem the tide. They were good value for the 3 points. They've came and done a job on us, and like I said, Denny's just said it there, they've gone home with the 3 points without really having to work hard for it.
Yeah, and just looking at the second goal as well, that one probably particularly disappointing given sort of the scrappy nature of it there.
Yeah, again, we just sank and sank and sank. No one taking charge, no one clearing the lines, getting us up the pitch. It was waiting to happen. We were just about to try and get some subs on to see if we could get a little bit of foothold in it. 2-0 down, it's difficult for the lads coming on then, 2-0 down, and it's damage limitation, isn't it? Barring the lovely strike Ben had, the bar, that was, again, all we produced second half.
Yeah, and a standout performer, Sam Kerr given the Player of the Match award, and he certainly put a shift in that midfield.
Yeah, he got around the pitch. He's just said that with him in there, but you can't just have one. I can't. Can you think of anyone else? Joey was alright now and again on the front foot. We can't have 1.5 players, and that means they've got 9 players better than us. You're never going to win a game of football like that. First half 50-50, second half they've taught us a lesson and we've got to learn fast.
Yeah, and a good chance to put that right on Saturday back at home as well. Hopefully, the fans sort of encourage them to get back through and ultimately put in a much better performance across 90 minutes.
Yeah, like I say, we've let ourselves down there because they've probably came after Saturday's excellent performance, wanting to see, what's this new team all about? And we haven't shown them anything there, to be honest. We've shown a little bit of spirit and determination first half. Second half, we showed them when they go and get tough. This week we didn't stand up to it.
This is the Codcast.
With BR Asbestos, your trusted local experts in asbestos surveying, removal and compliance. Safety without compromise. Visit br-asbestos.co.uk.
This is the Cast.
That's Lee Bullock, the Whitby Town manager, speaking to Liam after Tuesday's defeat against Guiseley. One of the positive points, and we'll be speaking to him a little bit later on, is the performance of Sam Kerr, Paul.
Yeah, I thought Sam was outstanding on Tuesday night. He was by far and away Whitby's best player, and again, it's something Bully referenced in that interview. Is like he was the standout player, and maybe Joey Pewty as well. But yeah, you can't have 1.5 players standing out. Essentially, you need everybody to be on the same level as Sam Kerr was on the evening. And if everybody hits that level, then Whitby will be all right in games. But again, on Saturday afternoon as well, I thought Sam Kerr was excellent. He's got so much energy. He gets around the field. He works hard. He grafts. He puts his foot in. He's not afraid to have a battle. And ultimately, when you look at the second half and trying to get back into the game, it was him that was trying to force the issue. He rattled the crossbar from 25 yards. He had a chance that he'll maybe feel he could have done better with when it dropped to him in the penalty box. He put that one over the bar. But yeah, I look at Sam Kerr and I think, that's the standard that we need to be hitting. And the lads have it in them, and across the field, it wasn't for the lack of trying. A lot of things I've heard from Tuesday night is, people saying how hard Whitby did work. So yeah, people will see that over the course of 42 games this season, that these lads will graft hard, and it's good to see that. But yeah, in terms of those performance levels, Sam Kerr, I think, he set the bar on Tuesday night.
I was going to say the other positive, of course, was the crowd, Paul.
Yeah, really good crowd inside the Towbar Express Stadium, 667. Speaking to the likes of Dave and Gary and Claire from who've been doing the regatta stall over the weekend. Really positive weekend for Whitby on that one. Actually, made a bit of money for the club. There was a lot of people asking about, have Whitby got a game on Tuesday? Are you at home? Are you at home next weekend because we're here, or we're here for the week? And it would seem that a lot of them have come and they have sort of stuck to the word. Guiseley obviously travelled fairly well. They always do to Whitby. Obviously, it's not a very long journey, but ultimately there was a lot of new faces in that crowd, a lot of visitors. I think a lot of people buying shirts for the first time, that sort of thing. So yeah, it was really good to see and really positive crowd.
Absolutely. Let's hear from the man of the moment, Sam Kerr, who spoke to me earlier this week. Obviously, Sam, bittersweet to get man of the match, but to lose the game against Guiseley. But were you able to take some satisfaction from the way you played?
I'm pretty pleased with how I performed, but I still feel I can offer a lot more and just neaten up a bit with some instances of the game. Yeah, it's nice to get a man of the match, but I'd rather be sat here now with 3 points and a win in the bank, just for the boys.
How do you think the team performed in general on Tuesday?
I thought we were very combative and we competed very well. First half it was tough in the conditions regards to the wind. But then I think what killed us were just coming out. The break killed us coming out at half time, and I think we were still as a collective in the changing room. That showed when they scored the 2 goals in space of 10 minutes. I just think we're a bit naive, bit off it for that 10 minutes. We're getting to some good positions in the final third, and I feel like, and a couple of other lads think we just rush trying to score. Like, say if we're down the right hand side, we attack one side rather than put a foot on the ball, turn back, recycle the ball, try and go out the other way, and if not, drag people about. We're getting to the final third and we're trying to clip a ball forward in an area where we haven't got much space to play. Trying to be too cute where we can drag people about and like dominating them areas. I just feel we try and rush stuff, but it's learning for us all. But the hard work's there. I think we work hard, we're combative, like I've just said, and we're competing. We're competing with teams who are tipped to be up there by the end of the season. But I just think you need to look at the bigger picture. We're 2 games in, 7 weeks into a project. A lot of young lads, a lot of lads who are new to this league. We've got a lot to show and a lot to give, and I back us completely, 100%.
And of course, we heard on commentary that shot that you had clipped the crossbar from distance. If that had got in, do you think we could have got back in the game?
Yeah, I mean, the shot that hit the bar, I think if it goes in, it's 2-1 with 20 minutes to play, and then I had another chance after. Should have done better on my weak foot from 6 yard out. Got to get my head over the ball, hit it low, but just blazed it over the bar. That's 2 chances from myself that could have changed the game. We had a couple of half chances. First half, we stand on the left. He's been scoring goals in them areas like most of pre-season in training. I don't know, just he knows he can do better, but yeah, he's picking up the right areas and he's in the right areas from crosses, and yeah, we're not far off it. It's frustrating, like looking back now, all these half chances. Obviously, if they come again, hopefully we'll be bound to put them away. But yeah, they're pretty annoyed with the strike. I had one last season at Ashton away for Stocksbridge. Balls come out edge at 18-yard box, 20 yards out, 25 yards out, a sidewinder, hit the bar. Keepers tipped it onto the bar, and then last night just hit it flush and it's gone over my mate Jack Hall, and he said to me he'd got a fingertip to it. I watched it back. He's nowhere near it, but yeah, just frustrating how it's not gone in. Would have given us definitely a big boost to go and kick on for the last 20 minutes, because that's what we're about. It's just finding that first goal. We need to find that first goal before other teams, and I think we'll blow teams out of the park.
Yeah, and good to have a chance to get back to winning ways quickly against Ilkeston on Saturday.
Yeah, I guess it's always good the start of the season, because games come thick and fast. I think it's like since Saturday, 3-4 days since Saturday, another 4 days, and then we get to put things right on Saturday against Ilkeston. Good team, solid team, strong team. We've had a good start to the season also. But we're at home, fans behind us. 2 decent performances. I think we could have been a bit more aggressive, could have been a bit more dominant. But now looking forward to it, relishing the opportunity to go and put things right with the boys, and everyone's in good spirits. I know, like in the group chat and everything, we're in good spirits. We're not letting it get to us too much. Don't get too high on the highs, don't get too low on the lows, as Denny says, and the gaffer. So we've got a lot to show. We've got a lot to show. We just need to get it out of us and get that positive start at home and make a home a fortress. But yeah, really confident with how things will turn out this season. If we just keep our head down, keep working hard, and keep worrying about us and doing the right things in right areas. Yeah, so just looking forward to the season and the next game, definitely.
Extra.
The home of live Whitby Town coverage. This is the Coast Extra.
With BR Asbestos, your trusted local experts in asbestos surveying, removal and compliance. Safety without compromise. Visit br-asbestos.co.uk.
This is the Coast
Extra.
That's Sam Kay speaking to me after Tuesday's defeat against Guiseley. But as Sam made the point, Paul, a quick chance to turn things around again on Saturday with another home game.
It's the beauty of the Northern Premier League, isn't it? You're especially this stage of the season, Saturday, Tuesday, you don't have long to sort of dwell on your feet. You've got to get back on the horse, so to speak, and attack it again, which Whitby will do. It's going to be a very tough test on Saturday afternoon. Ilkeston, they're in a similar position to Whitby in a way that they've got a brand new team, a new manager for them as well, and they've started the season well, 2 wins from 2. So they're going to be buoyed by that. They're going to be coming into this one thinking they've got a real chance of beating Whitby. And for Whitby, ultimately, it's a chance to put things right and show what they showed last Saturday away at Leek. But ultimately, the big thing is getting a home win on the board early on. We were talking after the game on Tuesday, and I think of 40-odd league games in the last 2 or 3 seasons. I think we've barely won double figures. We might have won double figures, but barely. I think it's 9 or 10 wins in about 40-odd. So ultimately, we've really got to put this home form right very quickly. And Saturday, that gives a very good opportunity to do so. Hopefully, again, in front of a good crowd. In front of hopefully Whitby will be well supported. But yeah, Ilkeston's going to provide a test that not many of us will be familiar with, because, like we say, it's a very, very new side to last season.
Yeah, it feels like they always seem to do that, Paul. They rebuild in the summer and we don't really know what to expect. A little bit like Town, maybe not on quite the same scale. Having seen the first 2 matches of the season, where do you feel we're at?
I think we're not a million miles away. Ultimately, you look at Leek, and Leek are a fairly solid Northern Premier League side. They're probably a decent mid-table side, and for 60 minutes we were the better team against Leek. On Tuesday for 45 minutes we matched Guiseley without creating a massive amount in the way of chances. So we aren't a million miles away from probably being around that kind of mid-table bracket. Denny Ingram said in recent weeks, we aren't going to be the best team in the league, but we'll be the hardest working team in the league. We'll graft more than any other team, you would imagine. And ultimately at this level, how many times have we seen how that can just get you points in itself, because you've wanted it more than your opponents, you've grafted harder than your opponents. So yeah, that's going to be something that I think will stand Whitby in really good stead over the course of the season. Lee Bullock said it in his interview post-match. We looked on Tuesday like we needed a big man up top and we needed a big man at the back. Yeah, and ultimately now it's down to the players in that dressing room, like he said, to go out and prove to him that we don't need them, that they can do it, they can fill the gaps, they can be stronger, they can sort of work in those positions and in those sort of areas. That's going to be ultimately the challenge for Whitby. Lee Bullock has said he is looking, and he will continue to look. He's a manager, and he'll always want ways to improve his squad. But ultimately, he's got what he's got at the moment. He's got to work with that, and ultimately, the players have to repay the faith that he's put in them, because there's players there that are getting a fantastic opportunity to play for Whitby Town Football Club that they might not have got a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So yeah, ultimately it's up to them to prove that they can come in and do that job, and prove to Lee Bullock that he doesn't need to go out and find players to strengthen.
Indeed, and obviously noticing the attacking trio from Borough Rangers that works so well on Saturday. Obviously Stuart Rose, but then you've also got Ben Turner, Cal Hickman. Hickman missing on Tuesday, Paul. I mean, was it a case that we really did miss him?
I think you always miss a player of Hickman's quality. He linked things up really well on Saturday afternoon. He was always wanting the ball. He was chasing everything down, and he worked hard. I mean, you can say that for pretty much everybody in a blue, or shall we say purple shirt, as it was on Saturday. But yeah, obviously Callum Hickman's he's a very creative player. He likes to get on the ball and make things happen. He got an assist on Saturday afternoon, a brilliantly weighted ball into the box for Stu Rose for that one, and then obviously he got his goal as well, which was a smart finish off balance, to be quite honest. So that's something that he's someone that we will be looking to over the course of the season to create these chances, to create problems for teams at this level. And I guess if you take him out of that sort of trio, it's a cog of the machine that's missing, and maybe isn't always quite as easy to replace in terms of that link up play and that familiarity between the likes of Turner, Rose, and Hickman. So yeah, he was a miss on Tuesday night, I felt, and he's someone that can link things up nicely, but hopefully not going to be too long until he's back and creating problems again.
Indeed, fingers crossed for that. Something people could take in on Saturday, Paul, at that home game that we've got coming up, the Crossbar Challenge.
Yeah, that was well received on Tuesday night. We had a few entries to kick things off, and yeah, it'll be running throughout the course of the season at half time at games. So yeah, keep an eye out for that one. It's £3 to enter, and then you get a text about 15 minutes into the game, I think, or 15 minutes before half time, one of the two, telling you if you've won or if you're a reserve. And I think it's a chance to win £100 if you hit the crossbar. I think that's the minimum prize anyway. So yeah, it's well worth it. It's well worth a dabble, I would say. You only have to hit it from the penalty spot, so you've probably got half a chance if you take a penalty like I do. I might have to enter myself, but yeah, it's a good little fundraiser for the football club, and a bit of fun at half time to break up that 15 minutes.
Fantastic. I was going to say, how did people fare on Tuesday? Did anybody clip the woodwork?
No, they were just under. It was a young lad and his dad from Guiseley. The young lad taking the kicks, and it was a million miles away, I must say. But yeah, didn't quite clip it. Didn't quite.
Okay, there you go. The challenge has been laid down. If you're at Saturday's game, get involved in that, the Crossbar Challenge. It is Whitby Town against Ilkeston from 3 p.m. at the Towbar Express Stadium. If you really can't make it, there is live commentary with Paul, Liam and the rest of the team, the Whitby Town media team on This Is The Coast Extra Whitby, and we will welcome you either way, either in person or on the radio. Thank you to this week's guests. Thanks to Sam Kay and Lee Bullock, and as well as Paul Connolly. From Paul and myself, we'll catch you next week. Bye for now.